I no longer wish to be a part of this world. The sight of the land slowly slips away from view, and I'm so very tired. The air is moist and clean, something I haven't experienced in such a very long time. My captivity in this city was time spent in a prison. The noises, the smells, the toxicity of it all. Every moment I lay in that festering pool was another moment spent in hell. The people there, filthy beyond salvation, are a blight to the world, eating away at the earth, a sickness that needs to be cured. But I'm away from it all. With each row of the oars, my sanity is slightly restored. The open sea, the only place I can truly call home. The foggy air feels cool against my skin, and I can sigh in relief. As provocative as this moment is, the boatman who fares this dinghy makes me nervous. He hasn't said a word, and instead has been humming this eerie tune. It's alien to my ears, but I could swear I've heard it before. Perhaps it was something I'd heard during my time on the surface. It was very possible, as the native peoples often clambered on during their daily grind. I suppose it was the only thing that they could do to keep from going insane. Their ideology perplexed me to the point of exhaustion. How could a life form be so content with its meaningless existence? Maybe they simply live in a blissful ignorance. Or perhaps they just don't care. Though, I do admit, I have a small admiration for the beasts. They have such a resilience and will to live. Regardless of conditions, they seem to thrive and flourish. Though, the same could be said about a disease. And that is what they ultimately are. A disease. A blight upon the land, draining its resources without so much as a care. Well, the majority at least seems to act in this manner. There are those who claim to respect the law of the land, but they are too far and few. A plague that needs cleansing. A smile crept along my face, exposing a row of jagged teeth. The idea of reclaiming the world had broken my concentration. The boatman never said a word, nor did he flinch at the sight. It was curious, very curious. Perhaps he hadn't seen. It was very possible that his thick leather hood blocked his vision. Maybe he himself was deep in thought. Surely, if he had seen, he would have been terrified. Surely. Though this man seemed strange indeed, our first encounter had left me feeling odd. And suddenly, the man had stopped rowing. "Is there something the matter?" I asked hesitantly. Maybe he had seen. I may have to kill this man to keep my secret.
"Aye, there is."
His voice shook my resolve. But why? Then, what is the problem? My claws began to grow. He said, slowly reaching into his pocket. I was ready to strike.
"Need a smoke."
The man pulled a pipe from his pocket. It was a simple pipe, old it seemed, and very well used. I began to relax myself. Could this not wait? I'm in a hurry.
It will only take a second, my boy. Besides, where you're going, you'll have all the time in the world.
He began to stuff tobacco in the pipe. The tangy scent of it was a concoction of vanilla and cherry. Excuse me? How do you know where I'm going? My voice slightly cracked and my breaths became unsteady. The man chuckled and clicked the pipe stem to his teeth.
Son, it doesn't take a scholar to know why you're going this far out into sea. Besides, you told me yourself why you were coming out here.
He lifted his right leg and crossed it over his left. He laid back, the pipe in his hand, tapping away at his teeth. It never occurred to me that I hadn't seen the man's face at all, even when I had paid my fare for passage. But even still, I could feel his gaze cutting deep into me. Could he see through my illusion? Oh, and where is it then that I go? I asked rather gruffly. The man's voice became icy.
Away. Far, far away from this wretched land, is what you said, was it not? That no price was too high to take you away from this misery.
The man pulled a match from his pocket and began to light his pipe. The low lampent glow of it illuminated his face, slightly. There was something definitely strange about his face. It looked gaunt and pale. He drew deep from the pipe and expelled the toxic cloud of smoke. He chuckled slightly.
I've met many men like you. Men landlocked and desperate, looking for a way out. I can see it in your eyes, boy. The sea calls to you like a maiden calls to her lover, drawing you into her watery bosom. The lust inside you growing wilder with each new pull of the tide. Aye, you look thirsty, my boy. But be warned, the briny deep offers no slake for your thirst. But I won't stop you from drinking deep.
He began to suckle his pipe again. His words cut deep. How could he possibly know? It was warmedly fascinating. I wanted to strike the man down, destroy every bit of him. But my curiosity was piqued. It had been ages since I felt this way. The man began to row again, his pace never changing. His intermittent puffs began to lose color and shape as a fog began to grow thicker. The smell of the sea calmed my nerves. We had ventured far out, the land a mere speck of dust on the horizon. The moon was bright. Its beams pierced the veil of the fog, and I could feel my destination was coming ever closer. The man began to hum his tune again. The melody drummed into my head. It was catchy in its own way. So catchy, in fact, that I caught myself humming along with the man. I stopped immediately, and so did the man. He had in fact stopped rowing altogether. Why have we stopped? Has your tobacco run out? I asked sarcastically.
No, boy. It's not time yet.
Time for what? I have somewhere to be. My voice strained in frustration.
You ever heard of the ghost ship, my boy?
The what? I don't have...
That's precisely why I'm asking, boy.
His snap cut me off. His eyes, they were azure in color. It was a sight I had never seen on the surface world.
Now, have you heard of the ghost ship?
He began to ash his pipe and refill it. No, I have not.
Well, a long time ago, a very long time, there once lived a captain who sailed free over all the seas. He vowed that he would sail until the seas ran dry. The man was fearless and brave, the most tactical of men. Now this captain, as great as he was, had a secret that he kept very well. It was this secret that made him the biggest target of all. From across the globe men came to fight, trying to uncover the great treasure of his. But try as they might, they all fell to the bottom of the sea, cut down by the captain. Until one day, or should I say night, when a storm began to brew, one of the worst the sea had ever made. With the storm came the barbarian horde, who sought to take down the captain and his men. The captain was no coward. His home was the sea, so he commanded his men to ready themselves, for they were in for a fight. Wave upon wave, the ship was tossed around. Men went over and taken away. The barbarians collided with the captain's ship, nearly tearing it in twain. The captain was overwhelmed, and would lose, it seemed. The captain had finally met his match. He was struck down and thrown into the sea. It was the end for him, but the captain was not ready to give up. You should know that the sea can be a jealous bride. Even she did not know the secret the captain held, and believe me, that didn't sit well. So she offered a deal to the captain, you see. In exchange for his secret, she would keep him alive. So out of the water did the captain rise, and with him rose the ship and his crew. In one fell swoop he destroyed the horde, and got his revenge. But his second chance came with a curse. True to his word, he and his men would continue to sail the seas. They would not stop until the seas ran dry. Now the captain, you see, he still roams about, searching for men who are called to the sea.
The man lit his pipe and began to smoke again. His tale was dull, and I cared not. Why waste my time with such a worthless jest? I see. Well, if you don't mind, can we continue on?
No, son. It isn't time.
Ah, damn you. I have somewhere to be.
Listen here, boy. You're not going anywhere until it's time. I'm not letting you fall to the bottom of the sea. There's another way.
What nonsense do you speak of? You have no dominion over me.
Why waste your life? There's so much to see. Believe me, child, you wouldn't want to know the true horrors that await you down in the deep.
I began to laugh. Oh, if he only knew.
Laugh all you want, boy, but you know nothing of suffering. You believe the trivial ordeals that you run from have any bearing on what's ahead?
You're a fool to think you know who I am. You think you know what's hidden in the depths? You know nothing. You're a fool, and you waste my time. And my patience runs thin. And I'm... Before I could finish my words, the man placed shackles over my wrists. What is the meaning of this? How dare you?
Hush now, boy. It's almost time.
The man sat back as if nothing had happened. Furious as I was, I began to laugh. Nothing would stop me from getting home. I waited for the man to ash his pipe. As soon as he did, I grabbed hold of the oar and struck him as hard as I could. The man shattered into 1,000 pieces. I grinned as large as I had ever before. But that soon disappeared, for what came next? I could hear the sound of the man beginning to chuckle. From over the boat, I peered, and there I spotted his skull. His piercing blue eyes staring deep into mine. The smoke still coming out as he continued to laugh. Who or what he was, I hadn't a clue, but I was starting to understand why I felt as I did. The skull had stopped laughing, and instead, there came a tune. It began to grow louder and louder with each moment that passed. From out of the fog did a ship appear, and then came the words that I'll never forget. There was no escape for me, it seems.
Row, row, row the boat gently to the sea. Verily, 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 an eternity at sea.
Row, row, row the boat gently to the sea. Verily, 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 an eternity at sea. Hey you, Ghostpaw here, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great Halloween. I'd also like to take a moment to say thank you very much to Creepypasta Goblin, who lent his voice over to help me with this story. It would be a great deal of honor for me if you went over to his channel and checked him out. As always, you can find a link of his channel down in the description below. I also wanted to say I'm sorry for not being around. There have been things that have come up that have kept me from recording. I know I keep saying that I'm coming back, but life just so happens to be getting in the way. I apologize for that, and I will continue to do my best to bring you more epic tales. I truly hope you know that I appreciate every single one of you who have come and subscribed to this channel and who watch my videos when they come out. It is a great honor, and I'm very, very humbled by that fact. I appreciate each and every single one of you. You just don't know how much. I wish I could truly show you. But I haven't given up, and I'm not gone. I will be continuing this saga. But enough with this happy stuff. If you liked tonight's story, please be sure to hit the like button, share with your friends, leave me a comment, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you can catch more of my spooky tales. And remember, Ghostpaw is always hunting, and I might just be hunting you.